We're recording. We're ready. You ready?
Let's do it.
You got it?
Sure.
What's going on?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me here.
No, thanks for coming on. Today we got Zach. And I first met Zach. We trained at the same gym. And basically, he is my walking humble pie because every time I felt a little bit strong, he would do a warm-up set and then make me realize that I was sort of pathetic as a human being in the training arts. But Zach's an NCAA hockey player.
Hockey player, yeah.
We can tell FIFA's coming up. And I think you got one more year left.
Yeah, I got one more year left of school, and then want to make the jump to pro in March.
So what's that like? How's that feeling? How long have you been playing hockey?
It's good, man. I started a bit later than the average. Started when I was 8 years old.
A bit later, 8 years old.
Usually, you see a lot of guys in hockey start, and with their parents get them on the ice at 2 or 3. So it is a bit later than the average, but just keep climbing my ladder and just trying to get to the top here now.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get in the pro ranks.
So, did you fall in love with hockey right away when you were 8?
I did, man. I did. I played basketball, played soccer, but never really loved it. And then once I started playing hockey,
But you're the perfect height for basketball.
I think not, man. I think hockey's my sport.
Okay, cool. So, what team are you playing for right now?
So I play for SUNY Canton. The SUNY being State University of New York, in Canton, New York,
Mm-hmm.
and it's NCAA Division III school. Play a lot of the other SUNY schools like Buffalo State, Oswego, Plattsburgh, some well-known D3 schools up there.
So, how is hockey culture in the States? Like, I know up here it's like what we do. But when I went to university, like I went to York, they had a hockey team. It wasn't really, I don't know why, but I think that we're not really behind our teams the same up here. Is in the States like a big thing?
Yeah, definitely. I think there is an NCAA feel. There'll be some teams that we play and there'll be 3,000, 4,000 fans in the crowd, or packed. So it kind of feels like it's already a pro environment. It's fun to play in those types of games.
What was it like your first game getting in front of that? Like when you were playing up here, what would be the most people you'd play in front of?
I played minor hockey up here and then I actually ended up going to prep school when I was 14 up in Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
And then still it was minor hockey, so you don't really get many fans, just parents. And then and then the odd girlfriend, But once I graduated high school, I played junior A,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where the NCAA recruits you from. So it's like a stepping stone to college. So you played there. I played 3 years there when I was 18 to 21.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played up north a little bit for Blind River, kind of near the Sault Ste. Marie area. And then I got traded to Trenton and was there for a month. And then I got traded to Kirkland Lake and was there for 2 years. Won a championship up there, went to Dudley Hewitt, and was an assistant captain there my second year.
So, I didn't even know you guys get traded at junior A level.
Yeah, there's a bunch of trades going on.
So when you got to the NCAA and you started playing in front of all those people, what was that experience? Were you nervous? Were you fun? Like, was it energizing?
Yeah, I never played in front of like 3,000 before. So in juniors, I played probably max of about 1,500, but it was a packed barn because it was a smaller arena.
Mm-hmm.
So it felt packed and it was a really loud environment. But once you're playing in kind of a pro rink where it's all seated and it's a bowl around the rink, it's a different environment and it's so fun to play in. And the fans get into it. There's student sections, and actually I was playing one game this year. I think there was like 4,000 people, and we played them twice in their rink, and their Geneseo, I think probably a top 10 team in NCAA. And I remember the second game we played them hard the first night. In the second game there was a sign, and it was from their student section, and each student had a sign holding one letter, and it said "Pease, try harder." Kind of calling me out, but it's a fun environment to play in for sure.
So this was the rival team?
Yeah, I took it as a compliment though. Yeah, the rival fans in the arena.
So you're getting used to the heckling already?
Yeah.
What was that? There was an episode of The Simpsons where Mr. Burns was making that baseball team. Do you remember watching that, Colin?
Yeah.
And they had Daryl Strawberry there, and they're like, "Strawberry, you suck." Do you remember that? Did you ever see it?
I might have.
And he starts crying, and he just wipes the tear. Yeah. Do you ever?
I don't remember that, man.
Do you get that feeling, or you're just like, it doesn't really affect you?
I think at first, but now it's just kind of get into the zone.
Mm-hmm.
Try to block that out, and the game's played in between the boards, so just try to focus on that.
So what is it like? Like when I was in university, I basically went to school like, I don't know, I'd go like to every other class maybe, and then I had a part-time job. But I remember meeting a wrestler, and actually, funny enough, when I trained in jiu-jitsu, she ended up at my gym,
nice.
and she was ranked number 1 in Canada. She was an Olympic wrestler, and she had her life so scheduled, like washroom breaks were scheduled. What do you do to balance the demands of playing an elite sport or a sport in an elite level, and then managing school and having a social life? Do you have any tricks, or is it something that you've just been conditioned to doing?
It's been tough. It's been tough to handle it, but I think as time goes on, you get used to it more. I think you need to prioritize some more than the others. So I prioritize, my training. I prioritize my hockey and my school, probably more than my social life. I should probably get out more, but at the end of the day, I got to do what's best for me, and I want to play pro hockey, and I got to prioritize, my sleep and stuff and my training towards that. I mean, there will be nights where I'll go out with the team, but I just try to pick my nights and not try to party too hard type of thing.
So what's your typical day like?
Typical day like is so I'll usually have class in the morning. Could differ at times. Could be like a 9 to 10, 10 to 11, and then maybe a 11 to 12 type of thing, like 3 classes in a row. And then I'll usually have some time off, and then we'll usually practice later in the afternoon, maybe like 4:15, around 6, depending on everyone's schedule. And
do you do like strength conditioning in the morning or anything, or in the season?
Yep. So I'll follow a program from my personal trainer, Ben Clarfield, out of Reach Personal Training, and then the odd time, most of the time, there will be also team workouts at the beginning of the year and team testing.
Yeah, and then I see you training in the off season. You'll go like, how many? You told me yesterday was how many workouts in?
Yeah, so I got 31 workouts in 28 days, and now I'm at 32 workouts in 31 days. Took a couple of days off just to rest the body.
What? Oh, man, that's intense. I find that like if I do any more than 2 days in a row, I'm like burnt out. And do you enjoy your summer months, or do you become what?
2 days in a row?
And I'm burnt out.
I know,
dude.
right?
I'm not a machine. Look, and I'm looking at Colin's tattoo now. It says "Work harder." I'm like, I know.
Love it.
That's what I'm telling you. This guy I'm at the gym, and it really is like anytime I felt strong about myself, like I'd bench 65s for like 8, and I'm like, yeah, I got it. And then he picks up hundreds, and it's just like, yeah, I'm warming up, no problem. It's just he's gonna get it out. How much did you find training actually? Because I get interested about. There's some athletes who think strength conditioning is just like. It's not that crucial. It's just practice on my sport. You see it a lot in basketball.
For
like
sure.
One of my clients, he deals with a lot of basketball players in the nutritional sense. He's like, you know what? A lot of them just don't really care about strength and conditioning. But how much did you feel that it influences your game?
So I started strength training when I was like 13, 14 years old, and started just working with a trainer, and just started from body weight and just kind of eased up into it. Mm-hmm. So it's always been a part of my game as part of hockey, as part of my off-season training. But it's definitely been a big difference maker. Being at Reach especially and doing the workouts that Ben's gave me, it's been ideal for me. It's changed my approach to the game. It's changed my mindset on the game. It's changed me as a hockey player. Just because, I can go out there and I can, fuck guys up if I need to and stuff like that. And, I can make good plays. I can score goals now, So it's kind of, just trying to put my game together now and definitely
So you're like a little Theo Fleury?
I got a good edge to me. A good edge to me for sure. But yeah, it's just trying to get better every single day. And I think strength training has been a big part of my development.
Mm-hmm. Do you find that when you're training as hard in the off season, that getting back to it is a lot simpler every year? Like, do you skate? Do you play hockey at all in the summer?
Yeah, I do. So just this year, I'm kind of changing my approach to it. I've been going hard in the gym, and then I think this month I'm going to start working with the skills coach and start working on my skills more. So the past 2 summers, I've been more in the gym. Mm-hmm. I haven't really skated too much, but I think this is the time where, I've kind of maxed out in the gym, but, I still got work to do, but in a good way. But, I think most of my development now needs to be on the ice. So just kind of switching that focus.
And do you do any mindset training?
I do. Yep. I do. I work with a coach. His name's Eric Hoffberg. I was out in North Carolina a couple of weeks ago, actually working with him, and big ups to him. He was a sports psychologist of the Washington Capitals this year. Their mental skills coach. So props to him. And
is that why they won?
Yeah, maybe. Props to him for the stuff he does behind the scenes, and I get to hear some cool stories about that team just because I work with him one-on-one. So it's cool. I work with him throughout the off season, which we just had a seminar. In Charlotte, North Carolina, a couple of weeks ago.
Is it your whole team that goes?
No, it's just a one-on-one thing.
How did you find him?
Found him on Facebook actually, and we reached out, and then we just did a few phone calls here and there, just like kind of having like a mind gym. It's called like a mental toughness like phone call, just like how you doing, like what's going on, like how you feeling, how do you approach the game, like how do you switch that there's always going to be adversity, so there's always so much going on, and I think mental toughness, like you're saying, it's a big part of the game now. So I've tried to work with a coach, try to separate myself more than the average person / player.
What are some things that he'll walk you through to make you like? It's like the idea of calcifying your mind, which you hear more and more of doing. But is there any specific task he gets you to do daily, or is it?
So yeah, he gave me a playbook, and then we went over like a huge seminar talking, and some of the things that I picked up is just trying to get into the zone, even if that's through the gym, because that can translate onto the ice. Just trying to find like a nice calm, but poise, but still intensity, and trying to find that sweet spot. So that balance there, and I've learned that now you need your first thought needs to be good, but your second thought needs to even be better than your first thought, because your second thought can redirect your first thought in a positive way if you can control it.
So how would you do that in a practical sense? Like what would be like, when did you start applying that in your life? Like,
well, I just learned about the second thought now, but I've always tried to have a good mindset and positive mindset about the game, but come into the second thought, it's, let's say for example, you're off season training, and your first thought is like, oh man, I got this, and then you're mid set, and you're on the sixth set, and you need to get 8 reps. You're at the 6th rep, you need to get 8 reps, and you're in your mind, you're like, man, I can't do this. This is getting heavy. But if you can switch that second thought and kind of redirect it, be like, hey man, like, yeah, let's do this, let's go.
Did you almost laugh at it, that first thought now? Like if it's a negative one?
Yeah, I try to just feed myself with positivity.
So how's that translated in your outside of training life? Have you noticed any positives?
Definitely, and just in general, just in life, just when handling situations, handling relationships, handling friendships. I think, if you have a positive mindset on it, and, you're a positive person, most people will want to be around you, and I think that's how you create respect for yourself.
Yeah, see, I didn't have that mindset at 20. How old are you?
23.
Did you have that mindset at 23?
Something like that. A little rougher around the edges.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I was trying to think, what was I doing at 23? I was working in a bar and whatever. So, what do you enjoy working on more now? Is the mind aspect becoming more enjoyable to you over like the physical training, or is the physical training still where you're?
I think I love both. I'm taking I'm a psychology student in school, so even through my courses, like I'm still learning about kind of the mental side of the game, which I can apply, in life and in hockey, and in my training. So which is cool, because I'm kind of with psychology, I'm kind of applying it to myself and to my sport as well, which is cool. And then working on my mental strength, mental skills coach, that's really benefited me too.
Yeah, I see that. Are your teammates following suit with that, or are you more rare?
I'm probably more rare. I don't think there are many guys like in Division 3 doing that type of stuff.
So actually, maybe you can help me with this, because I don't know. I don't watch many college sports. What's the difference between Division 3, 2, and 1?
So in hockey, there is no Division 2. It's just Division 1, Division 3. Like Division 2, I think is club or something. Like, it's weird. Like, it should be D2, but like it's really D3. It's just how it works out. So it's D1, which is like University of Michigan, Boston College, all the big schools, and then D3, which is I play out of the SUNYAC, probably the first or the second best division in D3. So if you're not in D1, that's where you kind of want to be.
Mm-hmm. And did you ever play a D1 team?
No, we don't.
No,
it doesn't cross. It's just D3 on D3 and then D1 on D1 type of thing.
Yeah, see, I don't know much about college sports. So, I'm trying to think what else I want to know from you. So, who is your biggest inspiration playing hockey right now?
Honestly, I don't even know if I have a favorite inspiration right now. I think just honestly myself. Not to sound too cocky, but just because I've been taught, and just from this past seminar, it's, do you have a dream, or are you chasing your dream? And there's a lot of people in the world that they're like, oh man, like this guy's doing it, but they're not putting the work in. So it's are you actually putting in the work to chase after your dream? And that's what I try to do every single day, just to get better and better myself and position myself to be in a pro in March.
How do they teach you in that seminar? To break down, here's your dream and here are you, or here's where you are, to get to that point?
Well, I think it comes down to routine and rituals. Like, are your priorities getting you to where you want to be? So are you making the best decisions that will, that will get you there? Are you working out, or are you working hard every day? Are you working smart? Are you doing everything that adds up to be a pro?
Yeah, I guess that can apply sort of everywhere. Because I with some of my reps that I work with, I try to help coach them in different ways in sales. And it's like you have this goal that seems so insurmountable, that's like so far away. And you're here, and it's like you can get here if you put in the work, but this is like so far away from you. So it's always like making the little goals to reach that big goal.
For sure.
So what's your thoughts going into your last year? So you're in your last year of school, and then you said you're going to go drafted, or you're going to go to the
try to
draft.
get picked up. Free agency, too old for the draft now. So
is that how, okay?
Yeah, usually the draft is for 18 years old, and then anything after that, you just try to. It's mostly free agent. Get picked up.
I clearly
don't
know a lot about hockey.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
So what is that feeling like?
It's feeling, just trying to be positive about the whole situation, and trying not to overthink about anything. Just trying to take it honestly, just one day at a time, and try to position myself every single day. Like if I'm training, at the end of the day, I got that end result in my mind where I want to be. So if I need some motivation on the 8th or 9th rep, if that's what's needed out of me, that's kind of where I'll get that motivation from. Is kind of the end result, which is pro hockey for me.
And where would you play if you could play anywhere?
Probably play somewhere warm. Probably Florida, Tampa.
Yeah, I can't stand these winters. Were you born in Toronto?
I was born in Toronto, yep, and then grew up in Newmarket, and then kind of Richmond Hill area.
I was just in Newmarket today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my parents, they moved their my dad has a computer store.
Okay.
And he just moved it from from Woodbridge to Newmarket.
Yep.
Which is insane how busy it's getting, that area.
Yeah, it's booming now, man. It's booming.
Yeah.
Mind if I ask a question?
Yeah, man, come in.
Man, because like you're talking about like what he's doing now, but like when you're going from being
Speak
a kid,
it. I think the mic we can't.
No, you're not gonna hear me.
Oh, okay.
Because like my mic's not working.
Oh, okay.
But when you're going from having fun as a kid playing hockey into all of a sudden now it's business and you gotta fucking like do shit, how do you handle that? Is there any love lost for the sport at all, or is it like more gained when you go through that?
I think when it's definitely gained for me. It is definitely, it's business now, but you still got to find a way to make it fun. You gotta wake up every day enjoying doing what you got to do, and that's training for me. So I enjoy going to the gym. I enjoy the people that I work with the people that I work with, the health specialists and the strength training coaches that I work with. They all want me to be there, and I want to be there because it's a mutual respect for each other. Benny has high demands for me, and I have high demands for myself. So it's a win-win.
So, yeah, when did that? What age did that start? The business side start creeping in? When were you like, okay, this is, because there's a lot of parents who are like, my kid's gonna be the next Wayne Gretzky, and but with you, when did that reality start sinking in? Where you're like, you know what, fuck, I think I might actually be able to do this. And like, was that a hard convincing of yourself, or was it just a natural progression?
So my story is, so I played junior A on Kirkland Lake, got picked up by a college/university in the SUNYAC as well, SUNY Fredonia. Mm-hmm. So I played my freshman year there, and I only played 2 games out of 25 games, and I hated it. Like I hated going to the rink. There was just buried in the lineup. There was like 10 or 11 healthy scratches in the lineup each night. Not playing. I was a freshman, so I wasn't really getting that much ice/looked at. So I played 2 out of 25 games that year. And then I remember I went home, I think it was maybe March break, and I was like, I had lunch or something with my parents, and I was like, you know what, I don't even want to play hockey anymore. Like I hated it this year. So I was going to quit. And then luckily I have a great chiropractor, Aubrey Green, been treating me since I was probably 17 probably. And he kind of hooked me up with Ben. And I was like, you know what? If I'm going to go into this, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to go 110%. I'm going to give it to my all. Because, this is what I really want. I'm not trying to work a 9 to 5, anytime soon. So, I want to play hockey. He hooked me up with Ben, and Ben changed my mindset, my approach to the game, my training. I think I came in at like 26 or 27% body fat, and left that summer, I think, around 11.
And so Ben, we'll have Ben on one of these days because,
sure.
He's changed my life a lot too. So I didn't know. So you credit him to staying and playing hockey? Like you're ready to be done?
I was ready to be done, and then I still wanted to play. Like I wanted to be done because I didn't like going to the rink every day. I didn't like playing for that coach. So I decided to transfer. And, SUNY Canton gave me a shot. And, that next game I played 22 out of 25 games. So, made a huge leap in my development through that off season with Ben.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, a lot of credit to him and a lot of credit to my chiropractor, too, for hooking that up and putting me in a place where I could succeed.
See, that's interesting. I would have thought for sure you were just like, no, I'm like focused like a knife, like a sharp knife.
That's how it is now. But yeah, I remember it was probably just over 2 years ago that this happened, like 2 years ago, last March.
And you've been up
like
with
26,
the intensity
27
ever since?
months. Yeah, and then I've just been like, hey, let's do this. So I'm going to do it. Let's do it right. Let's do it 110%. Kind of
not 112.
maybe 110%.
Who came up with 110%?
I don't know. Maybe let's say 100.
Dude, when you start getting on TV, you got to promise me, because you look at most of these hockey players, and it's like they're getting interviewed, and it's literally like you could just take one personality and with another personality, and that's when it's like you got to give it 100%. You should like totally fuck with the reporters and be like, I'm gonna give it 177%, and just see.
I like it,
the
man.
reactions.
That's actually true, and I think from what you're saying, I think they're all like that because of this militant way of living.
Yeah.
They're like soldiers, because soldiers are like that too. They just got the one thing, and like that's exact, because it sounds like soldier shit.
Yeah, you're like I'm waking up,
man.
getting my mind right.
Yeah, that's like
Oh man, I know. Just
I
dedicated
just love
my
the
life to the
intensity.
game.
I love that intensity earlier. He's just like, yeah, I got all that extra weight. I'm like, okay, he's strong. I'm like thinking in my head he got stronger. Cool. He's like, so I can go out there and just fuck people up.
yeah, no feeling at all.
Yeah, you're just like serious.
Oh,
So
man.
in case you ever want to move away from hockey, I'm sure you could have a career in MMA or something.
MMA.
Yeah, that'd be pretty intense. So, but yeah, I think you totally need to like. Do you ever do like interviews on TV now? Because I know NCAA like basketball is huge in the States.
Yeah. I had an interview this year after a game, and
That was
my last interview.
Were you like, I gave it 110%?
Didn't say that, no.
Can you promise me next time? And you have to send me the clip.
Yeah, I will.
Next time you're on TV, be like, yeah, I'm gonna give it 177%, and just see if they respond in a different way.
Sounds good.
In a different way. Do you guys know Tyson Fury? No. Do you know?
No, I don't.
Tyson. Yeah, he's a heavyweight boxing champ. The guy is the greatest character ever. I think he just says shit to fuck with people's minds all the time. Like that Bruno clip we were watching earlier. You should just start doing crazy shit like that and see what happens.
See how they react, eh?
No, don't do that.
No, don't do that. If anyone wants to see a really funny clip,
that was
just
crazy.
search Bruno psychic scene.
Everybody's seen it.
No, man. Honest, Borat did really well. Borat did really, really well.
Yep.
And then for some reason, Bruno fell flat. Like it did okay, but like most people I know don't know who Bruno is. I'm like, that movie's way better than Borat. But if anyone wants to see a really funny clip, just go Bruno psychic scene. And if you don't laugh, you have to really check out what's going on in your mind, because I don't think anyone can watch that clip without dying. But yeah, man, I got to come up to one of your games before it's done.
Man.
So it's in New York.
Yeah, so northern New York. Go towards the Brockville area. And then there's a border at Prescott/Ogdensburg. Cross there, and it's about 30 minutes across the border.
Oh, that's not bad. That's definitely a doable thing.
Mind if I ask another question?
Mm-hmm.
Soldiers, like they always they do what they do, which is not fun, and what you do sounds not fun. All the training and everything, but they do it because they have a sense of duty. Why do you do all that stuff? Like, is it just the love of the game?
I think
you
it's.
just want to be better.
I think it's about growth. I think it's about love of the game. I think it's about development, and I think about just like I said earlier, it's about the end results, which is me playing at the highest level of hockey that I can possibly play in.
True. So it's just like climb the ladder, like you said.
Yep, exactly.
True. And that just keeps you going.
But yeah, just kind of became obsessive with trying to get better. But I have taken an approach outside of the game too, where I do like to try to take 1 day off or 2 days off out of the week.
What do you do on your day off? Do you get hammered?
No, I don't. I don't drink too much.
Are you just like are you just a barfly that
I'm
day?
usually
You're like,
chilling, man.
okay,
Yeah.
11 o'clock, the bar's open.
Usually I'm lazy on my days off, man. Just try to sleep in, just try to chill, just try to maybe hang out with friends or something like that.
Well, your Instagram's like a celebrity life. Like every time I'm on his Instagram, it's like a picture of a pool. There's just a picture of a pool or some like really nice hotel. I'm like, what is this guy doing? Like,
Big pool guy, man.
Are you a big pool guy?
Yeah, there's a pool, sauna, hot tub in my building, so I try to get there every day.
Mm.
Usually after workouts as a
Oh,
recovery
it's
tool.
closed now. You got to come with me next year. Are you? So they're open from Labor Day until May 24, and it's this place called Bunya. Have you heard of it?
No, I
Did
haven't.
Yal tell you?
No.
So Bunya's it's amazing. If you like, well, okay, there's no pool. There's a sauna. There's like it's an old school Russian sauna. So they have like a 100 and like whatever super hot Russian sauna, super hot Finnish sauna. It's Turkish steam bath, and then this pool you jump in that's like 2 degrees Celsius.
I think I saw an Instagram video. Was
Did
that
you?
it?
Yeah.
Did you post one?
Life has
cool,
been
man.
communicated through Instagram, which I want to know. Like, so I was watching a Netflix movie, and it was about this. They're trying to expose some of the shady stuff that goes on in the NCAA. Like the kid was getting drafted, and all of a sudden his dad got a car, and like there's all that money part. He was a basketball player that people wanted, but they were showing like how important it is for like athletes at a young age to start really building their social media presence. Are you taking an active campaign in that? Like, are you trying to build your presence on social media, or are you focusing more on training?
Well, I'm focused on training, but also, I do have downtime, and I do like to be on Instagram. So, I do try to build a base, like you're saying, I guess, try to get some followers or whatnot, likes. I mean, I think that's what everyone's trying to do, at kind of my age and younger now. It seems like this generation is just all about Instagram.
You don't seem like most of your generation.
I'm not a guy that's gonna, post every day or anything, but, I do probably have high 80s posts or something.
What do you mean? Oh, like in
maybe
total?
89 posts, yeah. So I'm not a guy that I'm not a guy that posts too much, but I'll post here and there.
Have you thought of like leading up to your draft year to like really get? No, I'm serious. I'm wondering if like getting that bigger social media presence makes a difference, because if sports is a business,
I think so too. I think scouts and coaches are starting to look at athletes' Instagrams more. So I do, I do stay active on it. I do try to put positive things out there. I got a few training videos on there. After maybe like a good set or a good weight that I lifted, and then I'll try to post that, and then the other ones are just pictures, or not even pictures of me, just things that I'm kind of feeling.
Yeah,
like I got a couple pictures of LeBron because I think he's the GOAT.
He's man, they were showing like Kevin Durant, and they were showing like he had that game, that super high level, like his best game ever, last game, and he was just like comfortably in the middle of all of LeBron's games this playoffs.
Yeah,
like he's a beast.
He's a beast for sure, man.
So are you more inspired from LeBron than any hockey player?
I think LeBron is my favorite athlete for sure.
He spends something like $1 million a year
on his training,
on his health and his training.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, he's got like chefs and stuff I see on Insta, and like a bunch of trainers. Got I think a driver too I've seen.
Do you have a driver?
No. Driving my own car, man.
It's probably more fun that way. The only thing is that I always wonder with basketball players, like if they didn't make all that money and you're like 6'9", how do you live your life? Like, how do they drive a car?
It's horrible.
Like how do they go on a regular plane flight? Could you imagine sitting in the middle if you're 6'9"? Like in like imagine like a 3.
That'd be tough, man.
I know, it's one of the one times I like being short. But yeah, it's interesting, the whole new generation thing. Like, so yeah, you're 23. 23?
Yep.
When did you start, like when did you get a cell phone? When was that normal for kids to have a cell phone?
So when I got a cell phone, I think it was my 10th birthday. Just a little flip phone, just something, just kind of in case of emergency type of thing.
Did they have smartphones back then already?
No, they didn't. No, not yet. They just had flip phones. I think the hot phone at the time was the Motorola Razr. That was a classic.
I
was just, and then the old Blackberries, I guess, were just up and coming at that time.
Oh right,
with the pens on them, you know what I mean?
Oh, I felt so cool. I was an associate at a financial company, and I had that first belt clip phone, and I felt like I made it. That was it. I'm like, I got a business card, and I got that flip phone, and now my life is set. So what did you do to stay not distracted? Like, we were all 16. Like, I think my weekends involved me getting high and drunk, and like.
How did you not go and pursue pussy every second of the day as a
or
young
wait.
person? Because like there's.
But
a lot
maybe he
of
did. Hockey players.
Yeah, but like even still, you gotta be in. Like, you can't do what the other.
No,
kids
that's what
do.
I want to hear. I want to hear the crazy shit that happens in the hockey. Okay, but sorry.
No.
Answer that question.
Tell us that.
How did you not get
resist
distracted?
from all the distractions?
Yeah. So for me, When I was younger, I was definitely more wild. I didn't take the game as serious. Definitely drank a lot more. Now I'm not drinking too much, just kind of here and there type of thing. So I think
So you did get distracted.
I did get distracted for sure. There was a point in my life, where I put other priorities ahead of the game, and I think that kind of maybe
What was the number one priority?
maybe getting laid or something.
Maybe getting laid. Not maybe.
Chase,
We were all 16.
chasing girls. You know what I mean? Just just not really having my priorities straight on the game like I do now.
So how much has that changed things for you, getting your priorities in line?
I think it was a wake up call when I played 2 games out of 25 games, and then that summer just training with Benny pretty much almost every day, and my mental skills coach Eric Hoffberg and my chiropractor Aubrey Green, which I think are all true pros and what I like to call true pros in my life, and they've kind of just helped me like, hey, you want to do this, and let's do this. I'll try to help you. I'll try to steer you the right way. So I mean, I think the mentors in my life have really helped me get serious and helped me prioritize this game.
So mentors and a support system, basically.
Yeah, good family too for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how is your family?
They're great. I live downtown here with my mom throughout the off seasons. Live in a nice condo building downtown, and then nice 2-bedroom and a den.
Have they always been supportive?
View in the city. Yeah, they always have been.
Did they come to all your games when you were younger?
Yeah. I think my dad still comes to. I think he made it to probably 95% of my games this year.
Oh wow.
So yeah, he was traveling a lot, trying to watch me, and I think my mom might have came to 4 or 5 in a 25 game season. So it's a pretty short season in NCAA.
Yeah, because that's like, you don't think of it till you have kids. Like I don't have kids, but you see, like I work with, my boss actually, like he put his kid into soccer, and it's like half of his life now in his spare time is like taking his kid to soccer, going to the practices. Like it's a real big investment from the parents'
for sure.
end.
And there's so much money now with kids too, and coming up, just trying to put them, like you were saying earlier, the parents are putting money for the kids, and a lot of people are charging ridiculous amounts now, so it's becoming an expensive game, especially for hockey.
What are they charging ridiculous amounts of?
I think it might be like $100 or something, if just for like one training session for an hour worth. So it's just like and trust me, they're doing more than one. So it all adds up, and I guess it is a investment, but at the end of the day, the parent can't be into it; the kid has to be into it.
Did you so like me and Colin were actually speaking about this earlier? Like I think that's where the whole distraction thing came up from, about how much calmer and less anxiety you have in your life when you release those distractions.
For sure.
What's your internal clock like, or your internal feeling, since you were like, you know what, I'm going to push all that stuff aside and I'm going to focus on this one passion? Like, did you have a lot of anxiety in you before, dealing with different things?
Yeah, maybe. I think so. Maybe when I was younger, but I've tried to always kind of also read books too on like self-leadership and self-help kind of books, just so I can have like an advantage on people, and then not just on people, on other athletes, I guess. Try to include that into my game, and because it's so much mental now into the game.
Do you want to tell us your favorite book in that department?
Favorite book? I'm reading 12 Rules of Life right now by Jordan B. Peterson.
That's twice has come up today.
But I think my favorite book for like self-help and self-leadership would be Relentless by Tim Grover, who was the trainer of Michael Jordan and Kobe.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's that book called?
Relentless.
Yeah, let's add that to the list of readables. What rule are you on right now? 12 simple rules.
Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient.
Well, you said that fast. Can you say that again?
Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient.
I think maybe next time no coffee before we do this. I feel we're wired. That's that book. I really wonder what I would have been like if I would have read that in my 20s. Like I've read a lot of the self-help books, but that one's been like.
Have you read the whole thing?
Yeah, well, I've listened. Have you listened to the audiobook? It's in Jordan Peterson's voice. So it's like,
really?
Yeah, it's like this dad like figure putting you to sleep when you listen to it before bed. It's a great book. I've had to read a few chapters, like a couple chapters a few times.
What was one thing you applied to your life that you like to use now from that book?
Being okay with, I like the order's good, but being okay with a little bit of chaos.
Gotcha. Yep.
Is what I took out of it, and just and honestly just being okay, like just knowing that everything's okay. Not getting stressed out about am I doing enough.
Gotcha. Yep.
Is a big thing.
I like that. So being able to handle adversity too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry. The biggest quote: clean your room.
Clean your room. Yep, I did that too actually.
Like physically clean it, or just the?
I clean the closet out. You know, I clean my drawers out. Make my bed every day now, just from that chapter.
The effect that man is having, like but like I took it in the other sense where it's like I'm not gonna keep trying to fix everybody until I've really worked on myself.
That's true, man. And a lot of people don't want to get fixed either, too, right? They want to put the work in themselves. So that's what I've noticed. You know what I mean? Just because I've dedicated my life to the game, it's like not many people are dedicating their life to one thing. It's just kind of people are all over the place, and you know some people don't really want help. But then there are the some, like I'd say us. You know what I mean? You want to get better. You know, you want to put growth into your life.
Definitely.
How much of your time do you think you're associating to growth?
Into hockey wise or life wise, or both?
Both. I think like what I'm reading from you, I think hockey is really just an extension of it's like the physical manifestation of your mindset. Like I didn't know, like I've seen you at the gym, but I didn't realize like how motivated, dedicated, and like focused you are. And it seems like even if for whatever reason you don't play hockey, you put that mindset into anything, I don't see how you're not gonna excel.
That's true, man. Thank you.
But yeah, like how much do you feel like you're growing? Like how much of your day do you really focus on saying, I want to be a better Zach tomorrow. I want to be a better Zach tomorrow.
So I think it's just kind of like a day by day thing, one day at a time, like I was saying earlier, and just I actually created a yes checklist. So at the end of the week, I like to check off in this checklist that I kind of customized through myself, and it's are my priorities getting me to where I want to be? Am I prioritizing my sleep, my recovery? Because that's like at Reach they tell you you can only train as hard as you recover. So after my workouts, I always like to sauna, hot tub, pool, and then maybe have a stretch at night.
This guy's life. It's amazing. What do you do to hack your sleep? I think sleep is super important.
I just tried one of these new doTERRA oils. I'm just trying one of those, just like a little scent before bed. I think it's helping. And then I take the Designs by Health Magnesium.
The Neuromag?
I take the Neuromag and the magnesium glycinate.
You find that helps?
Oh yeah, big time.
Do you sleep in a blackout room?
Yeah, as much as I can. I would like to invest in like some curtains, but right now it's just like a pull down. But I try to black it out as much as possible.
Yeah, that they're showing is like really important. What are you on your electronics right before bed?
Usually, yeah. Which is I probably shouldn't be.
One thing I started doing, and me and Colin were talking about this earlier today. Today's day 3, so like I just started doing it. 8:00 at night, I shut my phone off. I close my laptop. I turn on my salt lamp. I don't have any other lights on, and it has been profound how much better I'm sleeping.
Nice,
but it's like a struggle because like you're like I gotta look at my phone.
Yeah.
Just one more clip. It's like cocaine. Just one more.
I know, right? It gets you hooked, man, and it does definitely mess up with your sleep.
So you do your yes list is: are you bettering yourself? Did you hack your sleep, or are you sleeping
So
well?
pretty much, yeah, you're prioritizing your recovery. Are your priorities getting you to where you want to be? Are you stepping outside of the game and kind of focusing on a life is good concept? Where I don't really want to think about training. I don't want to think about hockey. That day, my off day. I might take 1 or 2 days off a week, and just trying to black out training and just focus on other stuff in life.
What are other passions you have?
Honestly, just because I've been pursuing this one, I've been kind of dialed in. But I do like the psychology. If after my hockey career ends, I'd like to get into sports psychology and help elite athletes get mentally tougher, and go down that field.
What's it called? There's a book that NFL teams would read. I'm gonna have to get it to you later. It's like a really boring book, but it's all about mindset training. It's like known.
Sounds good, man. Let me know.
I gotta remember it now.
Yeah,
I need
let
some
me know
stuff
when
from
you
my
remember
memory.
it.
I don't know if you can search it, Colin, but it's like famous neuro priming book for sports teams. Are you searching it?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh man, I can't remember what it is.
Never remember what it is.
It's on my phone, but I don't want to turn my phone. It's Pat.
A fan's note?
No,
No.
it's psychocybernetics. I think. Look up psychocybernetics. Is it right?
Yeah, it's a real book.
Who's it by?
Let's see who this is by. Maxwell Maltz.
Yes. It's just it's I couldn't honestly I couldn't get through it. But like a lot of players quote that book as like what really excelled them.
Really?
Like gave them that mental toughness.
So what's it called?
Psycho-Cybernetics.
Psycho-Cybernetics. I'll have to look into that. And you read that one?
No, I like listen. Okay, so I drive a lot for work.
Yep.
I don't really read much. I listen to audiobooks. And that one I got through like an hour and a half. But the voice actor, I almost got into a few accents from how much he put me out. Because he's really boring. Like I was just like, okay, no, it's only 2:00 in the afternoon. Let's wake up. But you know, I'm not as motivated as you to do well in sports. But I feel like you really like that book.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll have to look into that then.
Yeah, I think it's like NFL players, fighters, like a lot of people. I think that motivation piece is like, that's the engine.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's so much the body. I think the body's like a representation, but like what else has changed? Like I know I keep asking you this question, but I feel like there's something deeper there that's changed in you.
In the past couple of years type of thing?
Yeah.
Just going back to, the mentors that I had in my life. Just trying to pursue, the right way and trying to guide me, trying to lead me.
Did you handpick your team?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is anyone else doing that? Like the players that
I think elite athletes are.
Yeah.
I don't think many guys in the NCAA are.
What's stopping them from taking that step?
I think some of it could be funds. I think some of it, maybe they're not too serious. Maybe they haven't been taught. Maybe they think, one guy is enough. But I think I've learned more from just having more than one master.
And, you always hear about this with a lot of, like, Mike Tyson had this in his camp where it was like he was surrounded by yes men. Do you look for people who are like, no, Zach, you're wrong. Do this. Like, how much do they call you? Like, I know Ben's pretty authentic and, like, he'll give you praise where you deserve it, but at the same time, he'll bring you back down.
Exactly.
Is that what you look for? Like, what do you look for in your mentors?
I just look for a direction. Am I doing the right thing type of thing? Like, does this make sense to this? And then I kind of have my team, kind of communicate with each other. So I saw my chiropractor on, I think it was Tuesday. And I just had, like I said, 31 days in that 28-day period span. And he's like, listen, man, you got to take a couple of days off. Like, your back's getting tight.
And then you went and partied up.
I got to listen. Didn't party, just had a low-key couple days.
It's gonna be fun to see how you progress over the next few years. I gotta say, for someone your age to be like that on top of stuff it's pretty cool.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate that.
I got into all the stuff you're talking about maybe at like 28, 29.
Gotcha.
Like that whole mental
yeah.
calcification. But anyways, yeah, it's been a pleasure having
man.
you on. Thank you for coming.
It's been a treat, man. Thanks for having me.
And I look forward to having you on the day after you get into the NHL.
Sounds good, man.
Okay, cool, man. Have a good one.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.